This team is crazy credentialed. A lot of them have very similar backgrounds. This team is built for success. Ain't nobody worried about this. Ain't nobody worried about this. So, one thing that I thought was unique when I looked at Algorand that I don't see on a ton of other projects, not to say that they ain't out there, right? But I'm not here to research every single project there is ever going to exist in crypto. I'm just kind of digging, doing a little exploring through our top 10. And I thought that this is something that is maybe one of the easier ways to look at a project, right? One way to look at a crypto project is to dive into the tech and get into the white paper and fully flesh out what the technology does and what the technology's capabilities are, and then try to compare that to other projects and try to measure success off of that, right? But you can also look at these projects through the lens of a business, right? And businesses that are successful usually have people who can work well together, right? And so I thought that to be a very simple way. Now, don't get me wrong, the tech behind Algorand is interesting, right? But I'm not here to give everybody technology lessons, so to speak. But let's dive into more one of the more simpler ways of looking at how Algorand is put together. So I'm looking at their team page here. So Algorand, our team, blending technical mastery and professional stability. The Algorand team consists of internationally recognized researchers, mathematicians, cryptographers, and economists, along with proven business leaders from global technology companies. So, as we go through this, I think you'll start to see what I was seeing when I took a look at the leadership team here. So we'll start with the founder here, Silvio Macaulay. So Silvio Macaulay, the founder. Silvio Macaulay has been on the faculty at MIT Electrical Engineering and Computer Science Department since 1983. Silvio's research interests are cryptography, zero knowledge, pseudo-random generation, secure protocols, and mechanism design and blockchain. In particular, Silvio is the co-inventor of probabilistic encryption, zero knowledge proofs, verifiable random functions, and many of the protocols that are the foundations of modern cryptography. In 2017, Silvio founded Algorand, a fully decentralized, secure, and scalable blockchain which provides a common platform for building products and services for a borderless economy at Algorand. Silvio oversees all research, including theory, security, and crypto finance. We're going to come back to that. Silvio is the recipient of the Turing Award in computer science, the Gödel Prize in theoretical computer science, and the RSA Prize in cryptography. He's a member of the National Academy of Sciences, the National Academy of Engineering, and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences and Academia de Lindsay. I don't know how to pronounce that at all. But let's go back here. So there's two things that I wanted to pull from Silvio's introduction here. And one is right here. And it's one of the most important ones here. Right? A scalable blockchain which provides a common platform for building products and services for a borderless economy, right? Borderless. So that's important. So a lot of folks get wrapped up in just what is crypto doing in the US, and right, the SEC, like we saw in that other article, this one here, the SEC labeling all of these, basically labeling these projects as securities, right? Silvio's building a platform for a borderless economy, scalable blockchain, which provides a common platform for building products and services for a borderless economy, right? Borderless meaning cross-border, going across borders, right? So this is bigger than just the US. So a lot of folks see and hear, right, the SEC news and noise, and they're like, crypto's not gonna make it. They're gonna fail because the SEC doesn't like them. Crypto is happening and being implemented outside of the US. It's just a thing, right? It's what's happening. So yeah, you can argue that, hey, the SEC is saying that these projects is, not doing it right or whatever, but these other countries is letting it fly, right? He's building for a borderless, a scalable solution, right, for a borderless economy. And so the other thing to take here from Silvio, you'll catch it in a minute if you didn't. Let's go to the next one here. Paul Riegel. Over his career, Paul has led products and driven product strategy for organizations ranging from startups to Fortune 25 environments. That's no small feat. Prior to joining Algorand, Paul was with Carbon Black, where he led product management for all strategic initiatives across a portfolio of products that produce over $200 million in recurring revenue. This role included being market-facing, where he pushed to educate, advocate, and contribute to thought leadership in the cybersecurity space. Prior to Carbon Black, Paul held a number of leadership positions, including global product management at IBM. Carbon Black and IBM. These are not small feats. And founding a sales-oriented startup. Paul holds a bachelor's degree in integrated science and technology from James Madison University and an MBA from the University of Notre Dame. Degreed up. IBM and Carbon Black. Just do some, I'm not going to dive too far into those. Do some Googling on Carbon Black and IBM. Let me know what you come up with. Right? To be operating at the top level, for and performing, right, for those companies, that's no small feat. Chief Product Officer. Take a look at the CFO here, Matthew Commons. Matthew is the CFO of Algorand, Chief Financial Officer. Prior to being appointed to this role, Matthew was founder and president of Common Partners, an executive advisory firm for several well-known blockchain and fintech firms. Prior to that, he was co-founder, CEO, and chairman of Cambridge Blockchain Incorporated, a company that built blockchain products for banks and institutions, which he successfully sold in 2020 to Blockchains Inc. Earlier in his career, Matthew served as the founding CFO of clean tech company Algorand, and held financial and strategic roles for leading energy companies, and including the Northbridge Group, LS Power Equity Advisors, and American Electric Power. He holds an MBA from Harvard. He earned He earned the dual degrees of BA and BS from the University of Pennsylvania and the Wharton School, respectively, and is a chartered financial analyst. Right. So, sorry, I'm more of a tech dude, so some of the finance stuff gets me all tongue twisted. Right, but he went to Harvard. He went to Harvard Business School. Right. Let's keep going here. The head of research and chief scientist, Jing Chen. Jing Chen is an assistant professor in the computer science department at Stony Brook University. She's also an affiliated assistant professor in the economics department and an affiliated member of the Stony Brook Center for Game Theory. Her main research interests are distributed ledgers, game theory, and algorithms. Jing received her bachelor and master's degree in computer science from Tsinghua University and her PhD in computer science from MIT. She did a one-year postdoc at the Institute for Advanced Study, Princeton. Jing received an NSF Career Award in 2016. We got MIT, and we got Princeton. Okay. We got some big name schools here for this leadership here. Yossi Gilad, the Chief Technology Officer. Yossi Gilad, or Gilad, sorry I might be pronouncing that wrong, work is focused on the design, construction, and analysis of secure and scalable network systems. Prior to Algorand, Yossi Gilad was a postdoctoral researcher at MIT and Boston University. Before MIT BU, he was a research staff member at IBM and also a postdoc researcher at the Hebrew University in Israel. Even before that, he held research and engineering positions at Google, Marvel's switching division, and Israel Defense Forces. Yossi Gilad completed his PhD at Bar Ilan University, Israel, and is a recipient of the IRTF Applied Networking Research Prize, the IBM Research Inventor Recognition Award, and the Checkpoint Institute for Information Security Prize. IBM. Let's see how many. IBM. What we got here? Google. One thing I want to say here is in the realm of cybersecurity, Israel is no joke. Throw that out there. MIT and Boston University. We are seeing a lot of big names here. Again, these are some credentialed folks, right? People like credentials. Let's take a look at the head of engineering. Gary Malouf. Gary has built and scaled engineering teams. Welcome to the stream, y'all. Welcome to the chill session. Gary has built and scaled engineering teams across a spectrum of companies with significant achievement in large-scale data and event processing space. He joins Algorand from Wayfair. Where he led teams responsible for their customer information platform, data, bootstrapped their ML platform organization, and scaled the on-site media sponsored products platform, the latter growing 3 times into a $100 million recurring revenue business over an 18-month span. Before Wayfair, Gary held several technical leadership roles, including head of engineering at OfferLogic and chief architect for a digital media trading startup. He completed his Bachelor's of Science in Applied Mathematics at Marist College and a Master's of Science in Industrial Engineering at Northeastern University. So he helped grow something into a $100 million recurring revenue business. Remember, the chief product officer, he doubled that. He helped throw something into a $200 million recurring revenue business. Right? And he comes from Wayfair, which is a pretty big company, right? Find, again, some really credentialed folks here. Chris Pikert, head of cryptography. Let's take a look here. Chris Pikert, fellow and head of cryptography at Algorand, is a world leader in lattice I hate that word. Every time I read, I come across the word all the time in studies, and I hate it. Lattice and post-quantum cryptography. Remember, I told y'all when we was talking about quant, I said post-quantum cryptography was already here. Nobody even knows about it. This is next level. I'm telling y'all, these are some credentialed folks. He's devised many widely used crypto systems, efficient algorithms, and security proofs for post-quantum digital signatures, identity-based encryption, pseudo-random functions, zero-knowledge proofs, right? Some of the same things Silvio Macaulay was interested in. Learning with errors, fully homomorphic encryption, and more. His research has heavily influenced several proposals that have advanced through several rounds of NISTs. NISTs don't do nothing, but they're just some small group that basically sets the standards for IT and information sec across the professional spectrum. Ongoing post-quantum cryptography standardization process. Pickard is also the Patrick C. Fisher Development Professor in the University of Michigan's Computer Science and Engineering Division. He received his PhD from MIT in 2006 under the supervision of Silvio Macaulay, and has previously held research and faculty positions at SRI International and Georgia Tech. His recognition includes the Sloan Foundation Fellowship, the U.S.-Israel Binational Science Foundation. Again, Israel is no joke when it comes to InfoSec, cybersecurity, right? And the Test of Time Award from the Theory of Cryptography Conference. Again, if you're paying attention, you should be starting to see a pattern here. You should start to be seeing a pattern here, and it's not just that they're credentialed, right? Michelle Quintagli, I'm butchering that, I apologize. CMO, I assume that's Chief Marketing Officer, I could be wrong. Michelle Q joined Algorand as CMO in September 2022. She brings an extensive background in the corporate communications, brand, and marketing profession, I got it right, having led teams for several Fortune 100 companies. She served as SVP, Senior Vice President, and Head of Communications for Fidelity Asset Management, an early adopter of digital assets. She then took on the role of SVP, Senior Vice President, and Head of Global Communications for Visa. While at Visa, Quintagli oversaw all communications, including corporate, innovation, and regional teams, including representing Visa on the Communications Commission for the International Olympic Committee. Most recently, she served as head of external communications for United Technologies through its transformation into 3 publicly traded companies, followed by a historic merger with Raytheon Company, eventually serving as head of media and public policy for the new Raytheon Technologies. Earlier in her career, she led the U.S. corporate social responsibility practice for Hill and Knowlton, one of the world's leading global communication companies, and spent more than a decade based in Africa working as an information officer and crisis spokeswoman for the United Nations World Food Program and UNICEF. She is a Rotary International Scholar and Washington Scholar, and is a graduate of Villanova University and the University of Nairobi, where she completed her graduate studies. Can you say credentialed? Can you say it twice for Michelle here? Let's quick recap Michelle. Visa, head of global communications for Visa, and senior vice president, head of communications for Fidelity. Now again, remember the SEC is right. Supposedly the SEC is saying that these companies were doing bad things, operating in the wrong way. It's a lot of credentialed folks up here. Let's take a look at General Counsel. The Chief Legal Officer of Algorand, responsible for all legal matters worldwide. and joins Algorand after a 20-year career of progressively responsible in-house counsel positions, including senior counsel roles at Alexion Pharmaceutical and Inverness Medical, and general counsel positions at Pegasystems and Velcro USA. She's an international law generalist with experience in corporate law, employment law, M&A securities law, and a variety of other areas of expertise, and has practiced in more than 30 countries. She's practiced in more than 30 countries. Also a member of the U.S. Olympic Committee for her sport of rowing, and a board member at her local music school. She got a Bachelor's of Arts from Yale in Russian Studies, and a Juris Doctorate from Harvard Law School. These are some pretty credentialed folks. Pretty credentialed folks. Man, we almost done here. We almost done. After this, we're gonna get into a little bit of the why are you in crypto piece. So let's see here. Sean Ford. The senior strategic advisor, served as the interim CEO of Algorand from July 22nd to March 2023. Prior to being appointed to that role, Sean served as Algorand's chief operating officer since early 2018, responsible for go-to-market execution and operations, including product management, engineering, and marketing. Sean joined Algorand from LogMeIn, where he was the chief marketing officer responsible for global marketing strategy. LogMeIn is not to be taken lightly either. LogMeIn is a remote assistance solution, an IT remote assistance solution. So he's responsible for global marketing strategy, product marketing, e-commerce, communications, brand leadership, and demand generation. He also ran the integration management office for LogMeIn's acquisition of Jive Communications in early 2018, and experienced operations and go-to-market executive. Sean, worked at Avid Technology, where he led worldwide marketing strategy and operations as a member of the company's executive leadership team. Also held several executive leadership roles, including CMO of COO at ZMax, CMO of SyncScore, and Vice President of Global Business and Marketing at Oracle. Again, this is just a senior strategic officer. Credentialed, folks. Credentialed. Also went to Harvard. Steve Kokino, senior advisor, served as the CEO of Algorand through July 2022, where he was responsible for overall business vision and strategy. Steve is a serial entrepreneur, most recently co-founder and executive chairman of Fuse, where we came across Fuse when we was digging into Aleph and some of Aleph's partnerships. One of their partnerships was an investor in Fuse, I want to say. Under his direction, the company transformed the way enterprises view collaboration as a key driver of business visibility, process improvement, and results. Today, Fuse has over 700 employees, servicing over 1,500 enterprise customers around the world. Prior to Fuse, co-founder of Blade Logic Incorporated, recognized leader for data center automation. GE was one of their clients. Whoa. GE, Time Warner, Microsoft, Cable and Wireless, Walmart, and Sprint. These were clients of a company that he co-founded. Prior to Blade Logic, co-founder of WebYes Inc., an early market leader in web hosting. They provided infrastructure services for Sun Microsystems, Netscape, and Lycos. It was acquired by Breakaway in 1999. It's a pretty impressive client list for a company that he co-founded. Just saying, GE is old as time. You managed to bring GE over. You managed to bring Microsoft in, Time Warner, Walmart, Sprint. We know Sprint got ate up, but come on. Their economic advisor went to Stanford and is a professor by courtesy. By courtesy for the Department of Management, Science, and Engineering at the Graduate School of Business. It got a Nobel Prize in Economics in 2020. Named a Distinguished Fellow of the American Economic Association. This is nuts. Too many awards for me to even name them all. Y'all starting to see where we're going with this? Radio spectrum licenses in North America, Europe, Asia, and Australia. Global. What we got here? Konstantinos. Speed it up a little bit for you. Expert in algorithms, game theory. This is the second game theory studier that we've seen on the list. Game theory and algorithms. Computer Science Prize winner from the Game Theory Society. Did a Sloan Fellowship in Computer Science. Professor, get out of here. He's a professor. Professor Daskakalis received a PhD in computer science from the University of California at Berkeley. These are some credentialed folks, y'all. World expert in distributed computation. We're talking about Maurice. This is another, these are their scientific advisors here. Again, speed it up a little bit for you here. PhD in computer science from MIT. Another scientific advisor. PhD in electrical engineering and computer science from MIT. Cryptocurrency advisors. Berkeley. PhD in computer science from MIT. Also a bachelor's degree in mathematics from MIT. 1 MIT, 2 MIT, 3 MIT, 'I don't think she was. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 MIT, 5 MIT, 6 MIT, 7 MIT. So why this is important is because now you have a collection of people who have similar knowledge backgrounds that were taught the same way. That's going to enable you to move faster. When you're talking about building a team, putting a team together, if you have a bunch of people who have learned the same way, you can move so much faster. And you have to spend less time on the on the icebreakers and figuring out how to work together because you're coming from similar programs. This is a team that is built for success. They're credentialed. How many folks do we have from Harvard? I think we had 3 Harvards in here. And not to mention this, what Michelle probably got the most impressive professional background here. Fidelity and Visa. That's what we're getting at here, folks. This team is crazy credentialed. A lot of them have very similar backgrounds. This team is built for success. Ain't nobody worried about this. Ain't nobody worried about this. Do these sound like people who would be building things illegal, intentionally just trying to get themselves in trouble? They ain't worried about this. Half of these folks have global backgrounds. They have global backgrounds outside of the U.S., right? Crypto is a global thing, right? Get this whole SEC U.S. stuff out your brain. This is a global movement.